everyone. I am Bobby Roundtree Born Medium, and this is my friend Sue from Love Elemental. Sue and
Hello, everyone.
I. Sorry, Sue.
Sorry.
That's all right. Today we are here to chat with you about the state of the world at the moment, the energetic shift that we're all experiencing, the amazingly confusing energy that is driving up our tailbones and into our heads right now. That's what we're here to talk about. How are you today, Sue?
I am so excited about being here for is this our maiden voyage for our QUIP?
I think this is our maiden voyage of our QUIP. What is QUIP? QUIP is Quantum Unity International Project. We are going to get together to help to bring more enlightenment and more information to you with different spiritual ideas and possibly different spiritual teachers. We're the two right now.
It's an exciting vision. It's a very exciting vision that we have to, like you mentioned, Bobby, to bring all kinds of different visionaries, luminaries, light workers, teachers to the table, to the conversation, to create lots of experiences, share lots of wisdom, and hopefully I think our vision is to create a library that people can access, and everyone coming in at whatever level of metaphysical level, spiritual level, that need not matter, right? There'll be something for everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes you think you're at a beginner level, but you actually are way past that, and you can listen to the beginner stuff and say, "Oh, I know all this," and then you can maybe find a different video where we go a little bit further into something. Yeah, we need to provide for people what is provided to us within our own brains. It
Absolutely.
behooves us to share. It's rude not to, which is probably why I share every thought I ever have out of my mouth. I don't want to be rude. Now, the people here know what you do, maybe, but some might be absolutely brand new and might not be. I'm a medium. That's pretty regular. People know about mediums and stuff. We talk to dead people, we talk to ascended beings, all that sort of thing. But you're a channeler. That is a very
Yeah.
different animal, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit different, a little bit different. I love what you do. I admire and honor and respect what you do. I think it's astonishing and amazing and so healing, and I love being part of the conversation with you. I learned so much. And what I do is a little different. I'm a trans channel, so that means that I have just practiced long enough, much like you with your mediumship, getting into a receiving state, and I sort of get set aside. So I'm in like a trance-like state, and I am the voice for a collective known as the United Souls of Heaven and Earth, or the US. We'll refer to them as the US. And they are a collective of non-physical teachers. They are wise, they are loving, and they are very vibrationally very strong and powerful. And they come, 2,500 of them. They come through with one mandate, and that's to show us love and to help us to know and grow love. So that's what I do. Yeah.
To enlighten.
To enlighten.
To
Exactly.
enlighten. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's interesting because the subject matter of what we do could be composed as spirituality, could be composed as metaphysics, could be composed, gosh, so many different things, really. And that's actually why we need so many different voices as well, because there are
Absolutely.
certain things because you can't be an expert on everything.
No.
And there are so many different aspects to spirituality. And if one doesn't appeal to you, not to worry. There's another one right over here that's telling you the same thing, but in a different kind of way. I love that about it. I really do. Because there's so many different human beings, and we are supposed to know this because it actually is our language. We've just forgotten that. Some of us have retained that information, and that's us, so to
Yes.
speak. But it's not just us, really. It's not just us. It's everyone, but people just don't
It's
know they have that information. That makes sense, right? There it is deep down
absolutely.
inside. See, I talked myself out of my own assertion right there.
Likely everyone who's laying eyes on this, whether it's now or in the future, will have some perhaps growing awareness of something within them beginning to stir. And
Yes,
I
absolutely.
right,
Yes.
and I think that's why this is such a timely conversation, because as the stirring is beginning, as the waking up is happening, uh, there's also energy that's coming in, this new energy, right? That's what we were going to talk about. So
Yeah.
to help us to wake up,
Yeah,
right?
why is it this way? Why are we feeling this right now? Why is it that every time I go onto social media, I am dismayed, disheartened, and disarrayed for part of it, but for the other part of it, I'm confused, I'm intrigued, and I'm wondering
Mhm.
all at the same time because I'm seeing this as like a bigger picture of things. It's almost like it's like we're the snake that's eating its own tail. Like we're going back 100 years in time. We're going
Yes.
back 100 years in time. 100 years. Like, have we not learned anything in 100 years? That's almost terrifying, actually, that we could go 100 years and not learn from the mistakes that we have seen others make. It's crazy. Yeah, we should know this by now.
And yet,
And
so
yet,
many, and yet, right? And so it's an interesting time where lots of the old paradigms, the old uh, institutions and traditions and lots of things are all being, it's like everything's being thrown up in the air.
mhm.
um and so yeah, I think it leaves people feeling so unsteady and
Yeah, and it's
ungrounded.
getting them to an idea, in my opinion, just my opinion. I'm not saying this is the absolute truth, but that idea, because we're all actually feeling this. And if you do not see something
Mhm.
above humanity, if you do not see actually another realm of spirituality, of souls, then of course you're going to put it to what you think is the highest form of humanity, and therefore it's going.
Right.
Yeah, I'm this is funny because we are here trying to offer enlightenment to folks, and I'm about to say you cannot look for enlightenment within human beings because they're human beings. They're fettered by minds. They're not quite as enlightened as they should be. Huh, okie dokie. So, huh, do, do you know what just came through my head? The question that just came through my head, it's an upsetting question. No, I don't like the question. Okay, how do we know the United Souls are real is actually the question. I didn't even want to ask that question because
I think it's
oh,
a
okay, good.
great
Okay.
question. I think it's a brilliant question, because you have to know. We don't have to know. I'll tell you, and then you'll know. I have asked this question so many times myself, I've lost count. I've been channeling them for a lot of years, but a lot of doubt, because I'm a
Mhm,
human being, right? So, uh, doubt, fear of judgment, fear of ridicule, fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of being ousted from the
mhm.
tribe, fear of being burnt at the stake.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
that's real fear.
so natural, right now, yeah, all of those things are woven in. So naturally, you when when you're sort of going along, I mean, I didn't I lived a very like traditional 3D kind of, well, not never really I'm not too much of a traditionalist, but very 3D life, in that I went out and I went to work and I did all of those things that were expected of me. And then when I moved more into the metaphysical world, that was the world that I sought out as a result of my own
Mhm,
healing journey. And then, I called for help. I called for guidance. I called for, is there not something more? I'm feeling the element of loneliness, all of those things, right? So when I called them and when they first came to me, I actually was like, I think I'm hearing voices. I think this, and then you see the skeptical mind comes in, and then the
mhm,
doubting mind, and then is this real? And they said to me one time, this was many years ago, when I said, like, are you, they honestly, I channeled like hundreds and hundreds of hours by this point. And I said one day, like, are you guys real? And of course, I don't remember the channeling when I
mhm,
come out of channel, because I'm in that altered state. So I have to either, back in those days, I would either automatic write, or I would, depending on where I was at in my own journey, I would record. And so I asked the question before I went in. I said, like, how do I know you're real? Like, how do I know that this isn't a whole big charade. And they said, well, you might not ever truly know the answer to that question, but we can tell you this. If it is a charade, you're like the world's greatest actress. Like, you're the greatest. You should get an Academy Award above all of them, right? So they got a great sense of humor. But it's true. And I think that, can we validate them? Perhaps, I know other channels have used different technology to, watch brain activity shift
Oh,
when you're in channel. We've not done anything like that. I hope one day we can, because I think that would
yes,
be
I was just talking about
brilliant.
that yesterday.
'Cause yeah, I would really like to. We've channeled for thousands and thousands of hours, and we've really wanted to scrutinize in a loving way, because it's absolutely quintessentially important to me that everything that I do is in alignment with
Mhm.
authenticity, right? That I'm
Yeah.
completely authentic. So I've definitely asked a lot of questions to make sure they're valid. And I invite everybody else to ask those questions of them. But one of the things that like so many people have said over the years is that they can feel them. So it's more than just hearing a message. A
Mm.
feeling, and then people's lives are actually transformed, right? And so I think that's probably the proof in the pudding, is that the transformation that we've seen as a result of the
Oh,
United
yeah.
Souls guiding people.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I mean, it's I'm just continuously amazed. We do mentorship. The United Souls work with individuals very closely, and what people are able to find out about themselves, learn about themselves, and then what they expand into, it just like heartens me all the time. So if they're not real, there's something else going on that's
I
really good.
completely agree. Ever since I met you and thus met them within meeting you, it's like, oh God, I have another set of people who are staring at me now from over there. That's what it feels like. And they were this morning, dadgummit. They don't care because the way I work is I actually can see, hear, and feel them looming always in the consciousness. And it's kind of funny what you say because I've envy envy's a not great word, but I envy a little bit that you're able to channel and leave, and then the message stands on its
Yes.
own. I have to interpret the
Mhm.
message and try to say what they're trying to say through my head out my mouth. Oh, sakes alive. So many times I'm like, okay, it's going through the Bobby filter. So you got to keep that in mind as I'm trying to say this because I just don't even know if I'm saying this correctly and things like that. Those sorts of things. And then they will correct me. I'll say, is that right? And then they'll show me, no, you're wrong, you big idiot. It's this, and that. They never call me a big idiot. Um, well, I'm a little one because I'm small.
No, look, this is a little one.
No, but they will say things like, because they know more about me than I
Yeah,
know about them, or that I even know
right,
about myself. They
right,
recognize and
exactly,
see me for the
exactly.
thing I am rather than the person I'm pretending to be right now. Yeah, I said that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm pretending to be Bobby.
yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, right, all of our filters and all of our different lenses and all
Yeah,
of our
our
different,
personas that we put up,
yeah, the
our little things that we do just to get
absolutely,
along here. Okay, so in my
absolutely.
brain, they actually this big shift because I've shared it a million times, and I actually even preface it with I think I'm crazy or something like that. I will downplay it, and I do that far too often. It's insulting to them. I know I might get like quite a spanking, or they show me every time I downplayed it, and they put me in a little room like
That
that
might
actually
happen,
might
that might
happen
happen.
because I know better. But anywho, so yeah, for me, this started, and they keep harking it back. Like they started at 2012 when they go into my brain, and then they jump it to 2016, and then they jump it to 2020. But I could feel it coming in 2019. I can look at 2012. Well, the whole
Oh,
world went insane because of the Mayan calendar, which
right,
I
yes.
actually think was the end of a world. Now, did not think at the time.
I I yeah, that feels like that, right? It does definitely
Yeah, like
feel
it was
like
the end of an
that.
ideology. It was the end of people
Yes, it
actually
was.
just blindly doing. what they had been doing for a certain
Mhm.
amount of years. It was kind of like, why
Yes.
are we doing this still? That sort of thing. And I think that just
Mhm.
caused anger. Now, why? Oh, okay, okay. I think I know why. Because fear causes anger. Fear. If you're in
Of
fear
course it
and you go
does.
into anger, you think you're in control of fear because you got angry, which is actually the
And in the vibration on the vibrational scale that
yeah.
we use a lot in our teaching, anger is actually a better vibration to move into than, say, grief
Oh
or
yeah.
despair, because that you're
Then
turning
you
in
have
on
no power.
yourself. But then at anger, exactly, anger, at least there's an expression, there's like a boom, right? It's like an energy, and usually an indication that a boundary's been violated. So what, right? So what are we? So maybe people are waking up to, what are my personal boundaries? And like maybe they're not all over the map for everybody to sort of
Yeah,
violate. I
yeah,
don't
and maybe
know.
there's a better way to live. That's the one I get a lot. There's
Maybe
little
there
things, and it's funny actually, because I say often in my readings that the grocery store is one of the most difficult places for me to be. The grocery store to me is like walking into a funeral. It is like the energy is just it's palpable. And during COVID, I could walk into the grocery store and almost burst into tears just by being close to
Mm,
people. It just felt so like that. Okay, so in my mind, the grocery store is the hard one because people shouldn't have to pay for food. You shouldn't have to budget and buy things that are less good for your body because you have less money in your bank account. That shouldn't be
right,
happening.
right.
And my son just wrote a paper that I read for him on Friday night about the grapes of wrath. Have you read the grapes of wrath? I have not. But his perspective into it
No.
was that John Steinbeck is trying to say capitalism is going to ruin food and people and keep certain people down and raise certain people up and actually make food unavailable to people. He talks about how they would take like 1,000 oranges because they weren't perfect and just bury them in the ground when people were starving right next to the
Mm,
oranges in the ground.
right.
It's just because of the money.
Mhm,
So um,
mhm,
I
mhm,
actually think that
mhm.
is very and John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath was written an awful long time ago. We have known
Yeah,
this
it most
for a
certainly
really
was.
long time. This is not a new idea, a new concept. This is something we have lived
Mhm.
with and known. And yeah, because the way we have everything set up, if I'm doing well, my neighbor could be doing worse. And if I'm doing well and my
Yeah,
neighbor's doing worse, I'm not doing well. 'Cause I can't do well
absolutely.
without other people doing well. It's just, yeah, I need you for what I do, and you need yeah, we need each other for what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And, the United Souls talk a lot about this, Bobby. They talk about, they call them the reciprocity
Yes, I've heard them
agreements,
say that.
that in these exchanges, right? So every one of us, every we have these exchanges, and it behooves us that all of our exchanges with people, no matter who they are, that we are it's expansive. And by expansive, I mean in the vibration, in the vicinity
Yeah.
of love, and not conditional love, universal love, right? That we're moving in those expanded states. So it's a very
Yeah, and
interesting
they just threw it in
conversation.
my head, like, the way people talk about family. Well, they're family. That's it. Like, they can do whatever they want, but they're family, so I have to go help them. It's family. I gotta go do this. There is just this underlying agreement in most families, I would say possibly. Even when people have chosen
Mhm.
families, once you call someone family, they own your heart. They own your butt. They're in jail.
Yes,
Ugh, they're family. I gotta get out of bed and go get them because they're family. So we gotta start thinking we're all family. Oh my gosh. So yeah,
we
that
are
you know
all
what's going through
family.
my head right now. We are family. Sorry. They sing songs in my head all the time. I got all my sisters with me. Sorry.
But it's true though, the more that like if we're in these reciprocity agreements that come back
Mhm.
to us, then of course we want to share, and of course we want to support, and of course we want to be, the days of competition are
Over.
over. and not everybody's caught up to that yet, but that's done, right? So we need to be collaborative, we need to be
Mhm.
cooperative. And it's interesting watching everybody try and get their footing with this, right? Because we're accustomed to, it's like
Yes.
mine,
Yeah.
mine,
I know better. You don't
mine.
know. I know. You don't know. Yes. Oh my gosh, so much of that. Even when I watch, if we go into the political zone, I watch people politically argue. I could actually copy paste what they're arguing, and they could not realize that they're actually saying the same damn thing to each other all over the place. Everybody's saying the same thing. They just are looking at getting it in different kinds of ways. Everybody wants to
Right,
feel like they
right.
are in charge of the money part. Blah. I yeah, I the devaluing of money is happening. It's happening right before our eyes. Honestly, they just said, and
Hmm.
thank God it is. That's a kind of very loaded
And
sentence, isn't
again,
it? And
yeah,
thank God it is. Like, this is divinely
well,
happening.
and it is, and the United Souls told me years ago, people, and anybody who's been around for a while has heard me say this 100 times, but I'll keep saying
Mhm.
it 1,000 more. They said to me, I was in my kitchen doing dishes, and they said, the new currency is love, for which the value is
Oh, wow.
unprecedented. So I've had people say, well, how does that pay my, how does love pay my bills? Like, get
Mhm.
real, Sue. Okay. On superficially, literally, that you're right. You can't like spoon, right? However, what I know, what I've witnessed is that when you are willing to love yourself and love other people and be a kind person and be a compassionate person and expand yourself vibrationally, then people, places, circumstances, things, the most divinely ordained experiences come into your reality over and over and over and over again that will not only pay your bills and put
Yeah.
food in your belly, but give you enough money so that you can pay your bills, and then you can hire people and you can pay them so they can pay their bills, right? And so it goes and
Yes.
so it goes. So it's really, and that's how the currency of love is it's that's the new currency, right? So it sounds cliche. People have said all these things, but it's so true, and it's such a powerful reminder that when we act out of this place of our home frequency, which is really based in love, because that's a creative force of life, like we can actually change worlds. We can create and
Yeah,
change
and if
worlds.
you start with just your individual world, then you can see how that could reverberate. It has to start here. Even if everyone started right here, then everyone would be on the same
Yes.
page, and they would notice the world change. Yeah, and honestly, I
Yes.
kinda see when the currency of love, I I I see that as an actual currency, like in the barter and trade idea. Like, I'm gonna give you a reading, and in exchange, you are gonna give me food for my family, and then I'm gonna do this and that,
Mhm.
but this and that. That's actually how I see it. I don't know, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Monetization has been around for I don't know when it started, because they show it to me like we've eased ourselves into this ridiculousness that we're in. And we are in a
Mhm.
ridiculousness. It is like if you came down as an alien and went, okay, wait a minute, that guy lives in that mansion and all of those people are living on the street? What? I don't, he's got room. What? Why aren't they? Why doesn't he let people live in his house? Because he can't. Blah, 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 blah.
Or or how about we teach the person who's in the smaller house that isn't
Mhm.
thrilled about it, why don't we teach them and help them to expand so that they too can move into a shared experience of,
Yeah.
right, their glory as well, instead of like it's almost like the rules are set up so only a select few get to know the rules of the road, and
Yeah.
we're here to say no. We're all divine, and we can reach into other realms to bring in wisdom and inspiration and guidance and love that can help the person in that house to be in the same realm as the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that there is more equity, like genuine equity. We're all divine
Yeah, and
beings.
why shouldn't we all have
Right?
what we need at that time? Yeah, and I also think that we have
Yes.
to let go of the idea that if Joe has this, it doesn't make what I have less. That's just what Joe has.
Exactly.
And if looking at Joe makes
Exactly.
me feel less, then I gotta look at me, not Joe. There's something more going on
Exactly.
here rather than over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe
Exactly.
that is even the root to all of it, that we just keep looking at each other going, "You got more." I want more.
You know, it's interesting. Just before we jumped on, I did what I opened my portals, which is just basically dialing up the guides. And they started talking to me about our preoccupation with looking at
Mm,
other people. And so I'm not going to be surprised if they talk about this today, because they were saying to me, every time you look to somebody else and you form an opinion about them, you're missing out on taking a look at yourself. That's just what they said to me,
oh, yeah.
right?
Oh my god, because that's so I've had so many times in my life where I've been so concerned about somebody else getting something that I've missed something that's being handed to me. Because I'm looking this way at
Yeah.
what they're getting, that I don't even realize that I should be going, "Oh, thank you so much." Did you read that last one? This lady just said, "Gave
I
you this one."
did.
That was very
Thank
sweet.
you. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That
Thank
was
you,
very,
everyone.
very sweet.
Beautiful. Wow. Should we
Yeah,
let
I was
the
just gonna say, do you feel what
see what
I feel? Because I
yeah,
have a feeling.
I feel you have a
I'll
feeling you
feel
feel
them,
me
you
too.
betcha. I just got chilly. Yeah.
It's either too hot or too
Yeah,
cold, isn't
and the
it, Bobby?
chili
It's
means
like
it's not about you,
we're
Bobby.
bo Okay. All right. Now, Bobby, tell me what your preference is. Do you want me to open my portals or just jump in?
Oh, well, for the sake of those who haven't seen you open your portals, it's always such a neato mosquito situation. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to dictate something to you.
No, no, that's perfect. No, no,
I think it's
that's
neato
wonderful. I
mosquito.
appreciate
I'm
your
gonna do it.
Okay, let's do it. I need a mosquito. Okay. Okay, so I'll just I'm just going to quickly explain what I'm going to do here for anybody who's not seen this before. I'm doing something called opening my portals, and what that simply means is that excuse me, I'm going to if I was going to call Bobby on the phone, I would dial her number. So I wouldn't just put any number in, or I wouldn't just pick up the phone and expect that Bobby, although she's an amazing psychic, would know to pick up her phone and connect with me. Same thing, same rule applies when you're connecting with guides. So this also allows me to be very, very clear about who I'm bringing in to communicate with me. It also, I'm not interested in um, communicating with different levels of energy or entities. I'm simply only interested and have only ever been interested in communicating with what I call my high white master guides, highlight master guides. And of course through them, if I'm going to do any mediumship, then that's fine, but that's what I've asked for and that's who comes through. So this is my practice every single time I'm going to go into channel. It's like practicing safe driving. It's like putting on your seatbelt and making sure you're following the rules of the road. So dearly beloved, I am presence. Please project and establish a protective pillar of white light, Leoesh, in, through, and around me, and please keep me from anything that is not of the light. I ask that portals be open for the express purpose of establishing the highest rapport between myself and my highest white light guides, including Merlin, Mimi, Michael, Seth, Abraham, Paya, Cryon, Saint Germain, Angela, Orion, Dobbin, Yogananda, Violemus, the Lost Boys and Girls, the Kings and Monarchs, Albert and the Council, the student body, and us. The Great White Brotherhood, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Razuel, Ramtha, Rhonda, Dactonal, the benevolent light beings from Romulus, the Syrian Blue White Council, the Mirians, the Arcturians, beloved Goddess Athena, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, beloved Lady Kuan Yin, Orinoco, Wanda, Volans, Gadzooks, the League of Giant Medicine Men, the Hierarchical Chambers, the Grandmothers, Jesus Christ, Marian, Demetrius, the Psychological Compendium of Master Hilarion, Jeremiah the Goliath, and the Hathors. I ask that these portals be protected, and that I establish the highest rapport between myself and my highest white light guides, including Merlin, Mimi, Michael, Seth, Abraham, Paya, Cryon, Saint Germain, Angela, Orin, Dobbin, Yogananda, Valamis, the Lost Boys and Girls, the Kings and Monarchs, out in the Council, the Student Body, and us, the Great White Brotherhood, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Razuel, Ramtha, Rhonda, Dactono, the benevolent light beings from Romulus, the Syrian Blue White Council, the Lemurians, the Arcturians, beloved Goddess Athena, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, beloved Lady Kuan Yin, Orinoco, Wonderful Lands, Gadzooks, the League of Giant Medicine Men, the Hierarchical Chambers of Grandmothers, Jesus the Christ, Marian, Demetrius, the Psychological Compendium of Master Hilarion, Jeremiah the Goliath, and the Hathors without interruption. I call upon the Elohim of the White Ray to pour forth thy full crystalline from the source. I call upon the Elohim of the White Ray to activate the crystal templates of my body. I call upon the Elohim of the White Ray that I may be fulfilled. I call upon the Elohim of the White Ray to fill me with the light and the love of God. Kodosh, 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 Adoni Titzbeoth, Adoni Titzbeoth, Adoni Titzbeoth. We are here. We are here, we are here, we are here. Beloved friends of us, good day. Good day to each and good day to all. We are so honored to sit in this space, place, time on the map of life of each of yous, having come together in a conduit kind of way, sharing your own fields, your own frequencies, and a little bit of fun. It is nice to warm your hearts at each other's hearths and to crank up the internal flame a little bit. And we are here. We are here to share a few moments of your time. We promise that we will bring you only the sweetest kind of reverberation. You see, we are us. And we come forth at this time with but one signal, one signpost, and that is this: you are love! Exclamation mark! You are love, friends. What does that mean, you say? I sit here and I feel a little bit wrinkled, a little bit worn out even, a little bit weathered perhaps. And we see that, friends. But if you just take a moment right now, right here, right now, there has never been a moment like this. Not one. In all of the breaths you have taken, there has not been this moment. That is a beautiful thing. Let us just take a moment to celebrate that. And as we celebrate that, let's take a breath. And let's realize with real eyes that this breath of mine, it is divine. You might say it is the result of the organism and the organs and the exchanges. And we say and we see indeed, it is all of those things as well. But it is the divine connection. And you might say, there will come a time and I will cease the breath. Am I no longer divine? Oh no, friends, you are divine. You are non-physically focused. Still, the greater part of you is not in this physical expression. The greater part of you is so aware that it is love. And all of the programs and all of the projects and all of the paradigms and all of the stories and all of the situations, all that you have carried, old friends, all of it, we see it. and by times it has been heavy. But that is not who you are. You are love. You are part of the all that is all that is all. There is not one of you that is outside of that. You are all included. You might not believe us, and that is all right. But it remains a truth that you are a magnificent being of light, being human. You did not come to bump around between the boards like one of those old machines you would play, and the ball would go here and there. And then you would get, what would happen? It would get sucked into the hole. It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it, friends? And you just wish there was that one more little lever control that would bounce you back into the game. Here we are. We're going to bounce you back into the game. Over and over and over we will, if it be your will, old friends. We will come and we will reinforce your force within. We will show and shine and rise, each of you, all of you. You see, it is not some kind of mistake here. This is a grand design. Each of you, all of you, whether you are here in this moment, space, time right now, or you come together with us in another right now, moment, space, time now. It will still be now, will it not? And the now of now, this point of now, this point that has never, ever, ever occurred before with the breath shared between all of us. It is so rich and so ripe with potential. You have been misled, friends, to believe that this and that and that and this and all of these scenarios and situations need to be lined and realigned and reorganized, and all of the shelves and all of the books and all of the stacks of material, everything needs to be sorted and organized before you can be magnificent. And that was not true and remains untrue to you. You simply need to be and breathe. And the moments in between the moments, you will begin to remember who you are. At first, it might be a whisper so faint, but do listen, will you? You are so magnificent. You might think we are not speaking to you. We are speaking to all of you, each and every one of you. We invite you all to jump on this love train with us. There is plenty of room. All aboard. We will leave no one behind. Everyone that wants to be part of this party. You all have within, you're within what you need. You came to this planetary jurisdiction with worlds within. Not to come to this world to be without. You look here to this one and to that, and you say, what are they doing over there? Looks better than what I've got here. Then you look over here and you say, what are they doing over there? I do not want any part of that. I would not want that in my experience. How can they have that in their experience? And then you look over here and say, oh, look at them in that experience over there. I would certainly like to participate in that experience. And then you look over here and you say, oh, look at them in that experience. How terrible. That is a terrible experience they are in. You have forgotten. You are the one. It is all within. You are emanating out all of these scenarios and situations. And what is it based on? All of it is based on your vibration, friends. We know that these are big conversations, and we will take a great deal more time in the days to come, the moons that will pass upon all of us. We will speak more and oft. We will give each of you some time in your time, space, time to allow the digestion, if you wish, of some of this nourishment we are offering onto you. Each one of yous is invited to our table. And we promise we will nourish each of you and all of you. We have more than enough. And we are wanting you to know that these times that you are in, you all have front row seats, and some believe they are in the wrong theater altogether. Some are saying, I did not come to see anyone fed to the lions. Indeed, you did not. Those are bygone stories, and yet it seems as though you are in a new day kind of iterative patterning, just a modern day version. And we say to you, each of you, all of you, you do not need to cast your glance into the other's preoccupation to put poison and salt in the wells in order to nourish and to rehydrate those around you. Worry not about those and them who are up in the hills, in the castles, the ones who seem to have the loudest voices. Worry not of them. They are in their own paradigms, and you are in yours. This is your storybook story. And you look out and you believe that you are participating in a reality where everyone is trudging along, and there is tyranny, and there is chaos, and there is constriction. What if we told you that you have always the choice, friends, to move away from your awareness of the constriction and to allow your awareness to your own expansion to grow? And how does that begin? It begins within. And the easiest way to do it, friends, is to simply become aware of the power of this moment of now with the breath. Never has it happened before, this moment. It is rich with possibility, this moment. I am love, this moment. I am divine, this moment. And you will begin to see the you, each of you, that we see you to be. There is much to be spoken about around these frequencies that have become and will become a greater part of the it is an amplification and a charging of the existing blueprint of reality, we will call it. What does that mean? the grids of life, each of you, filled with the filaments of light, of life. And you move across these expansive grids. They are different now from once they were. And the vibrational harmonics that are coming to this planet, they are causing what once was to get flipped upside down. And everyone is looking at it and examining it. They are not liking so much of what they are seeing. But friends, when a garden has been left for the weeds to run, and we say and we see that not all weeds are poison, but when we are wanting to nourish as we are, we want to plant the seeds that we will come to know and grow, are seeds of love. Each one of you has within you these seeds. We want you to begin to plant them. We want you to begin to recognize and realize that this time of times that you are in is very different from the days gone by. The chaos indeed is part of the particulate. We see that. And you might say to us, we cannot turn away. We must look at it. Would you like it to grow? What are you sowing that you want to grow? What do you want more of, old friends? We say, look away. Look away from that which is its own incongruency. Look away from it and go look into your own eyes. Look into the mirror. Look into the love of you and speak favor upon you. That is how you begin to change worlds. You do not need to march here and there and to take up this and to take up that. You can, that is all right. But if you are doing that, we invite you to also be sure that you are looking into your own eyes and you are sowing and growing the seeds of love. For if you do one without the other, you see, it will become soon enough, it will grow into a constrictive patterning. You are only ever moving in one of two directions, old friends. You are only ever expanding, or you are only ever constricting. You are never doing both at the same time. And so, there are brand new frequencies that are coming to this planet. And they are causing upheaval, yes. But look away. And if you look into the light of your eyes, you will see that they are also doing something else. They have come to light you up, your own ladders of light, each of you. Have you noticed that you are beginning to stir a little more on the inside than ever you have before? Have you noticed? Have you noticed there is a calling forth of you, but you are unsure which direction the whispers are coming from? We say to you, hands on heart, and listen, breathe, and be. Look to you and your magnificence and your glory. You will find a brand new story there, friends. The ones who are the great disruptors, we will call them. The ones who are out of sight, not the ones who come on your devices, not the ones who seem to be the ones who are in charge of the charge, but the ones that have come forth time and time again to make a way for they and they only. These old storylines, friends, they are falling apart. Indeed, the new currents and the new grids simply will not support the kind of chaos and consternation that has been a staple in everyone's diets for far too long. As you sip your water, here is a fun exercise, and some may know this, and some may do this. As you sip your water each day, whisper your own magnificence into it and watch you begin to shift in ways that you have dreamt of for so long, each of you. It is a powerful reprogramming time, we will say. It is a powerful time to not participate in any other's programming. We will say that again. Do not participate in anyone else's programming. Allow the inner mechanism, your inner guidance system, friends. Allow those a little bit of light of day. You are all here on divine assignment. Many of you have forgotten. That is all right. But we are inviting you for the next 1 month cycle, 1 moon cycle. Look into your eyes, to the light of you, and speak favor and speak love. And watch your world begin to expand and grow, and watch the seeds of love begin to grow. And watch what you are watching and coming to know. And it is our promise that you will spend less time looking here at there, what they've got over here and what they do not have over there, and whether you have enough or don't have enough, you see. Because when you are filled up with the love of you, suddenly the realities begin to show more than enoughness, you see. This is a time of amplification, friends. We invite you to stay in vibrational proximity to the harmonics of appreciation, and allow appreciation to be the balm that you will utilize to move you between all of the sediment and all of the friction. Dearest friends of us, you are known, you are honored, and you are so dearly loved by us. We are going to return into our frequency for a few moments, allow everyone to grab some refreshment, and we will be on deck if there are any matters on the minds of any others. Indeed. Wow, like way over here. I never know. I never know where I'm going to end up when I open my eyes. Thank you.
Have you ever walked
Oh.
while being with the us and found yourself in a different room?
No, I don't think I've done that.
They probably wouldn't endanger you that way.
No, they've been doing different things with me lately, so I'm kind of got a foot in both worlds. They've been doing different things with me lately in terms of like my body's becoming more animated
Yeah.
when I'm channeling. And I've had a few experiences where they've allowed me to channel with my eyes open, but that's only it's been training. They've been training me to do that. So that maybe that'll be a next step.
Yeah, because
You know.
I started with my eyes closed. Yeah, I did all my readings with my
Okay.
eyes closed because I didn't think I could see because I'm clairvoyant. I didn't think I could see with my eyes open, which is so funny, really,
Right.
because yeah, I know. Yeah, my Rottweiler used to lay at my feet, so I was never actually worried having my eyes closed to strangers in my house. But yeah, yeah, yeah. One day I just went, "Oh wow, I can still see everything." But it's the visual distraction thing too, especially when you're first starting. Yeah, like meditating with
Right.
your eyes open is a whole situation as well as compared to your eyes closed.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was awesome and wild. And it's funny, I took a sip of my water and I told myself 3 great things about me while I did it. Oh, do you even know? That's what they said. Yeah,
Is that what they
yeah.
told us to do? Is that what we're
Yeah, that's
doing?
one of the things they said to do. Yeah. And honestly, a few of those things when you said I'm talking to all of you, I was like, "Oh, I thought it was just me."
Do you know what? I've heard that so many times. We've done larger events,
Yeah.
shows or whatever. And it's a universal message, but so many people will say afterwards, I was certain that that message was
Yeah.
just for me.
It could be one of two
Yeah.
things. One, that the universal message is the universal message, and the message to the individual is the message to the collective because we are one. Or it could be that people
Right.
who are all on that same frequency are brought to the same broadcast or the same show at the same
Right.
time. Chicken, egg, I don't know which one it
Right.
is. It could be both.
Right.
So, yeah, because I was
Oh, I know.
stressing out about an earthly thing today I made it all up in my head. I know I didn't. Well,
Okay.
there was actual evidence, but I made it a
Yeah.
huge, horrible problem in my brain. And I chastised myself, which I do commonly do. I have an idea in my
Okay.
head that a person of my age should have a certain financial standing. And no matter what my financial standing is, I judge myself. I don't know why, but I do it. And they were
Okay.
talking somewhat about judging yourself based on what we see as the parameters of our society, what is good and what is bad, and what is successful and what is not successful. They didn't say it in those particular words exactly, but oh, that's okay. That's the gist I got. And that's the interesting thing because other
Yeah.
people may have gotten completely different gists based on what they needed
They
to
may have.
hear.
That's right. That's
Interesting.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okie dokie. And it's funny. It's almost there's very, 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 very seldom times when I have no chatter in my brain. And while the us are being spoken out of you, how do I say that? As you're channeling the us, there we go. There's a sentence that makes sense. Um, I don't have the extra chatter. It almost yeah,
Is
it
that
feels like they're
right?
standing here going, "Pay attention, young lady." You know, like when the teacher comes in okay, so I was the fidgety kid in
Yes.
class, and I'm the kid who the AE or somebody would come stand next to when they're so you go,
Right.
"Okay, fine, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna sit now." Yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
behave.
but think of what they were doing to me. I'm 53 now, and I haven't stopped fidgeting with things the whole time that we've been on. And I'm fine with that. That's who I am. I know that's who I am. I do not fight it
Yes.
anymore. I'm a fidget spinner. So, yeah.
Fidget
Yeah,
spinner.
which
Got
I
it.
never owned one. But anyway. So okie dokie. So I've made it so I cannot see the questions because we have our behind the
Okay.
scenes lady. I'm interested.
We do.
Okay, yes, please ask questions in the chat. I want to know who got. I want to know the name of the puppy dog, but I also want to know.
Oh, this is
Okay, what's
Alice.
it called?
This is
Alice.
Alice. Alice?
Oh, Alice,
Alice. And
like the
Alice
restaurant.
is a yeah, Alice, exactly. And she's a
Oh,
beautiful girl who is we have friends visiting, and so Alice is part of that family, but she's actually like my little adopted daughter dog here. So
oh, I think she's been finding this all very interesting. She keeps coming in and out, and yeah.
is that right? They most certainly love
Oh,
the
they
animals
do.
love
Yeah.
the right?
They
They
love the
love the
energy of
guides.
it.
They love the
Yeah, the cats
energy.
especially, because
Yeah.
yeah, I attract cats. So, yeah, it's like I have kibble coming out of my tuchus or something, tuna, I don't know what it is.
That's funny you should mention that because, I did cat rescue for, like, ever, for years and
Oh,
years and years, right? We had all these cats, and, I think at one point we had 12. Anyways, but 4 or 5 years ago, crazy cat ladies, right? Last cat passed, from old age, and so, made the declaration, "No more cats, never, no more cats." I love them, but it's just,
they're a thing,
it's,
yeah.
their thing. It's just it's a lot of work, and so we life goes on, and about I don't know, we moved into this new place, and within a month, I was outside and I saw these two little eyes in the darkness, and that began a relationship with this little feral kitty, and little Boo is what I've named her, and so she through the because we're on Lake Huron, right, and so we had a wicked winter this year, and she came and she would go and I didn't know where she was going, and I bought like a heated house for her. We did all these things because I was worried she wasn't going to make it. Anyways, we have a little shed here, put her in the little shed. She left in January during like the worst storm, and I thought, oh no, little Boo, right? She came back, and I thought, you're so excited to see me. Um uh Sorry, I thought, Boo is so excited to see me. Let's go. And then I realized she wasn't excited. She was in heat. And so she left that night and came back the next day in a snowstorm, no longer in heat. And I
Uh-oh.
thought, that's peculiar. Anyways, we have 4 brand new little kittens that we had to midwife that are going into their 3rd week. So it's funny, right? Our whole world is, and we've got them outside because,
Yes.
right? And so in a shed, and it's warm, but our whole life is like, one of them's got an eye infection, so we're treating them. So it's funny you say cats they how did
How
they find me?
bizarre.
How did they
You know I have
find
2 that live in my
us?
backyard, right? Yes. Oh,
No.
yeah, they've been there a few years now. I went out one day and saw 4 sets of eyes, just like you. I saw 4 eyes looking at me. I was like, "What the devil?" And yep, they live out there. That's where I used to do my outdoor COVID readings. I bought them a heated house. I actually put a big thing out for them. I've been feeding them for years. I've named them Frigg and Freya, 2 Norse
I
goddesses.
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But my
Yes,
indoor
yes.
cats, well, I have cats as well. They don't get along with each other because they're cats. So, yeah.
Right. Of course.
That's
Of
funny.
course.
That is very, very funny that we both, yeah,
It
and every
you
time I look at it,
know
it's like, there's a new bloody cat in my yard, every time, and I have made that declaration too.
all the
I've said,
time.
"No more cats," because I couldn't stand the murder. I'm a vegetarian. I walk
Oh,
outside and there's dead mice, dead birds, death, death, and I tell them, "No more death. Mommy doesn't like death." I call myself mommy. That's so bizarre. That is so bizarre.
yeah, it really
Yes.
is.
Huh. Okay, now, and off topic completely because we didn't even know this about each other. That's so wild. Anyway, because I think cats are
That's
special
interesting.
myself. I actually think they know
Magical.
more. I think that when your cat comes and sleeps next to your head, it's actually because they see some stuff they're not really jazzed on and they're trying to cleanse it off for you. I really
Yeah,
think they
it's
see
okay.
energy and stuff. That's why they're so quick to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Because they're
so too.
different. Any
And I
other
like that
animal, they
about
kill
them.
for pleasure, like humans. They're different. Yeah. We're the only ones that do that. We kill because we wanna. Every other animal kills
And we
just for
can.
food, necessity, protection. Okie dokie. Now, we have a question up, but we had a question before that. And can we do the question before that after we do this question, please? Putting the powers that be
Yes.
in place. Oh, she's doing it right now. Okay. Fast. I'd like to connect. Is it time? Beautiful messages. Thank you with love. No, Carrie, do you mean connect your connection? Because I think that's what you mean. Would you say so, Sue?
I think so. Like, you would like to connect. Is it time for you to connect? Is that the
I
question?
think so. In fact, clarity on that would be awesome. But I kind of think that what she's saying is allow herself to go to that next level. That's my thinking because I know
Yeah.
this person and I know her level. I'm using air quotes there because we're not really at levels, but it's easier to say that
Gotcha.
to humans. So sorry, my relationship with humans. So do you want to ask them if there's something deeper and more? Because
Sure.
I would say,
Sure.
yeah.
So before yeah,
I
go
would
ahead.
say,
You go
yes,
ahead.
this is the time. This is exactly the time. This is like trying to
Yeah.
figure out your life in the highest point of your meditation. Yeah, that's the time to do that. Not when you're feeling down and sad and you just looked at your bank account. Don't do that. Sorry, that was my morning.
No. Now right? Um yeah, I mean, I think that's I just want to say that's I think why we felt it so imperative to
Mm,
launch this project is because this is the time. So it and the whole idea of connection, this is and I'm going to let them talk in just a second, but I can feel them. So I'm sort of talking. We're both sort of talking here. This idea of connection is so important because we teach this in our mentorship that um, we have a program and there's 4 pillars to expansion, and one of them is connection. But in order to connect, right, in order to really connect, there's a few other things we have to do. One of them is we have to become consciously aware. That means that we have to become aware of our limitations and our restrictions and all the programs and all the old limited beliefs and all the old stuff, right, all the stuff. We have to clean out our inner closet a little bit. And with that, and one of the things that the guides tell us is we have to speak our truth, right? And so that leads us into a broader state of confidence. And then we move through the confidence vibrationally, because this moves us up the vibrational scale, and then we move into clarity. And then with greater clarity, then we move into connection, right? So that and that seems to flow through every problem that comes up in life, or every kind of we're not sure where we're at, or we're not sure if we're ready, or we're not sure if we're on the right path, or seems to apply for everything, but to apply to everything. But let's just check in. Okay. We are here and we are eager to speak to this question because it is precisely what we were speaking about, is it not? This now moment, right now, right now, right now. Has there ever been another like this one? So ripe in the nowness, so beautiful in its overall construction, woven together so beautifully. This now moment, right now. We think that there is no better moment than right now for you to recognize and realize that you came to this jurisdiction, this planetary jurisdiction. You came to shine and to rise. You. And with that, you will shine and rise all of the others that you have woven into your experience, you see. We say go for it and begin where you are. Look into those eyes. Declare your magnificence. Declare it each and every day. One moon cycle. And let's come back and chat a little more once you have become more thoroughly acquainted with your royalty.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Awesome. You're back. Hi, Sue.
I'm
Guess
back.
what happened?
I know, right? Guess what
Guess what
happened?
happened? Yeah, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, and I agree. What they said to Carrie was, "You're already there. Just start looking at yourself, and you'll be more there." And they were so correct. Yeah, knowing her personally, yes, absolutely. Okie dokie, Catherine Hardy. Would you like to read it out loud, or?
Sure. I would like to hear this is from Catherine Hardy. I would also like to hear more about the things we could say to ourselves while looking in the mirror and sipping on water, in addition to hearing about mutual aid communities. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want the us to talk about
Well,
this, or
they're
do you
the
want to?
ones who said it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
are they?
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No problem. Just filling in the gaps. Okay. And my own gaps. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. Mm. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. And we are eager to speak to you, sweethearted friend of ours, about how to exponentially increase your luminosity. Yes? You are such an eager shiner, and we see you rising and rising and rising up, 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 up your own ladder of light. And we are going to provide you with a very easy way for you to move into this luminosity at a quickening kind of rate, we will say. I am. I am. I am. And look at you. Look at you now. Look at your radiance. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. And if you will do that for 2 full moon cycles, old friend, you will come back and you will tell us about all of your glory stories. Indeed, you want to speak about mutual aid communities. That is our language, where there is a reciprocity agreement between two that favors each. It is expansive. And when it becomes expansive over and over and over again, there will come we will call it a portal of potential, a threshold, a demarcation spot on the map of life of all of you. And you will see and you will know, if it be your will, an opportunity to move into what we will call quantum cooperation. And watch like a wildfire the kindness grow. All of it, friends, all of it, all of these conversations, all of these questions, they are all powerful. And there are so many scenarios and so much uncertainty. We see all of that. But if you return, each of you and all of you, into states of allowing the grace of life to find you, rather than believing that you must always be marching this way and that way, and not allowing time to find the sweet pause to begin to really, 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 really know the who of you. Who are you? Who are you? Are you what goes on up here? Hmm? Are you what goes on in your feeling body? Hmm? Or are you these things and so much more? And the more you realize your moreness, not because you are looking this way or that to compare who you are to another. Oh no, that is a slippery slope. And it will always catch you up as you bumble down the hill. So many of you had to lick those wounds, have you not? No true cooperation or collaboration will ever occur when you are all in your own states of internal deficit. Begin within, sweethearted friends of us. Begin within and watch it grow. This is a beautiful garden we have planted on this day. These are beautiful conversations, and we invite you all to continue to come back over and over again. We will be here. Let us bring this conversation to places it has never been before. As you move out into the days and the ways that you do, shine light on the others who seem as though they are broken down. It is all right to place a smile on your face and offer them a little bit of grace. That is a reciprocity agreement. And if you practice that kind of reciprocity, your world will begin to change. More who are wanting to cooperate and collaborate will come into your experience. And then you can all choose as a collective. You can all choose who will hold the other's hands, who will hold the bread baskets, who will hold the tune, and everyone will harmonize, you see. But if your tune is out of tune, it will be very difficult to harmonize, old friend. Indeed.
That's pretty awesome. I actually made note on the private chat. One of the things they said, begin within. That's a t-shirt. Totally a t-shirt. We got like I'm gonna design that tonight.
That would be a great
Begin within.
t-shirt.
That is just awesome because that's where it all begins. If you don't work on yourself, if you don't start looking at yourself, how the heck are it's it RuPaul right there. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? I added the hell. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Begin within. Yes. Begin within. And that was very, I honestly think too, that is the answer to both the questions. Begin within. Just start within you. Just take it to you and do it the way that feels most natural to you right now.
Yes.
Don't be a dink.
Yes. Exclamation mark.
Do unto others. There are a few of those commandments that are pretty dang good. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Oh my God. I learned that one at 16. Was I 16? Yeah. Yeah, be what you would like to have. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm at the Man in the Mirror with Michael
Yes.
Jackson, which I'm not gonna sing. Promise. I got a mic now, so
Oh,
it's just getting me going on that.
yeah. I know. You're right on the edge, aren't you?
With
You're
the
just like
man in the mirror. Yeah. Sorry, had to. And no, I didn't just channel MJ.
that was
That
all
was
you,
all
girl.
me. That is not Michael Jackson's like, don't be singing my song. That was my Michael Jackson. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Anywho, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Oh,
Feeling
good.
really good.
Okay.
I feel really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I'm
How are
feeling
you
great.
feeling?
I'm actually at the point of euphoria a little bit because of
Oh, yeah.
yesterday, I think. Because yesterday I was in a psychic fair
Right.
and it got busy.
That's a lot
Oh,
of
so
energy,
much
isn't it? Yeah.
energy. Yeah, and one thing about this psychic fair, because I myself, the thing I like about fairs is being between folks, is to have a vendor. A vendor would be someone who's selling crystals or jewelry or something else. They had someone who was cleaning teeth there yesterday. I like to have that buffer between because I find when we're doing readings all right here, all very, very close to each other, it doesn't mix the messages, but it does make it so I'm like, it's kind of like you're having a conversation in a crowded room. The other people's
Right.
conversations do
Right.
somewhat pop in. Yeah, they
Kind of
filter
filter.
in a little bit.
Mhm,
And even
mhm.
if you're not trying to listen,
Mhm.
some like a word like sex. Oh, what? Like, you hear a word and you're like, oh, that word. So yeah, I was busy, busy, busy jumping because you don't do them, right? You can't. I can't imagine doing them as a channeler. I don't think it's even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, and I don't think it's a great fit. I just am not quite sure, because the United Souls, well, they're sort of they answer in they're sort of longer answers. It's not sort of like
Nope.
yes or no's. We've talked about this. And we asked why is that, United Souls? Why, people have said to me, why can't they just answer a question simple and easy? So I said to them one day, why can't you? This was one of the days they let me have my eyes open, but they made me walk back and forth
Oh, that's
outside in the
funny.
winter. And and so I could actually have my eyes open, but I had to stare at the ground and I could ask them questions, but then I was listening. So it was a lot
Mhm.
going on at once. And they said to me that rather than just give an answer, what they do is they were talking about exchanges and how we all have exchanges. So if you and I are walking down the street and we just see each other and we say hello, that's a very
Yeah.
minimal exchange. But we could have a heart to heart, and that would be a very deep exchange. So they said there's very little that they can do with a very little brief exchange because energetically it's
Not
just sort of a
enough.
little touch on. But if they move into the person's vibrational field, they actually endeavor to vibrationally bring the person who's asking the question into the vicinity of the answer. So they're trying to, rather than, right, they're trying to, because really, like, are all the, I've heard, all of the answers are within. Yeah. Do we need to move into vibrational proximity of the answer? Yes, the solution instead of the problem. Because if we're looking at the problem, we'll never
Yeah,
find the
we'll just make the
solution, will
problem
we?
larger, actually. We just put all our energy into the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, and the way that they were talking to when you were talking about I have to stare at things often, especially with the dead. I'll stare at a chair. Like I actually keep staring at your bench because I actually see the S sitting there. But so I will, yeah, it's almost like a catatonic kind of stare because it keeps your brain in that little place. And
Yes.
what was my other
Yes.
thing? What was that? You started me there and then you took me away. Oh, okie dokie. Say to people, thank you for allowing me to crawl around in your brain for a while. So it's a similar
Yes.
sort of thing. I get into people's brains. And actually, what they'll show me is this is what we're showing you, but this is your comparison. So if I'm supposed to talk about a dog, I'll see my
Right.
dog and then that sort of thing. Yeah. So that I can know. Or it could be whichever dog I have that has that same emotion for that person, for their dog. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah,
And
of
then I
course.
say, does
Yeah, it
that make
does.
sense?
Absolutely.
About 1,000,000 times a day when I do. Oh, I say it so often because I don't, because
Oh,
I don't channel, but I get to a point where I'm so in there with them that I have to come back and go, okay, so what I just said, were you guys like, because I was gone, so I'm not quite sure, because I'm not gone
right,
like you're gone.
right,
I'm just, I
right.
call it
Yeah.
drunk talk. So yeah. When you're drunk, you're still there. You're still pretty much in charge, kinda.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yours is more
Well,
opiate talk.
yeah.
You're the opium den, and I'm the bar. Yeah. So I'm
Oh, what a
Hemingway, you're
hoot.
Sherlock Holmes. That's yeah.
I love
I like
that.
that
I
too,
love that
actually.
actually.
I don't know about like me being Hemingway, but I'm big on bullfighting. I think it's cruel. So anywho, okie dokie.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okie dokie. So our
Well,
boss, we have
I know
we have
our
an
boss has just given us
unseen
the flag.
boss that only we know about, right? Yeah. And she's in charge because you have to be in charge of psychic people because they're like cats.
Yes.
Have you ever tried to tell a cat to go somewhere?
Wander.
Or I can call my cats to me, but it's only because they think I'm either going to love them or feed them. They don't come out of obedience. Like my
Right.
dog will come out of a deep sleep. Okay, you want me? I come. That's what he will do. My cats are like, okay, what are you giving me? So anyway, we're cats. See? We are
We
cats and
are.
we melt
We
our
are.
brains when we do our work. So yes. Okay, so
Wow.
um shall we thank everyone for coming? Okie
Let's do
dokie.
that.
All right.
Let's do
Thank
that.
you, everyone, for
Yes.
coming. Thank
Yeah.
you, everyone, for the questions that you asked. And please know, how often are we going to do these, Sue? Are we going to do them on a regular basis?
I think we're going to do it every month for
Yeah,
certain.
absolutely.
So definitely once a month, and we have plans. We have lots of great topics. We have some different guests that we're
Mhm.
lining up. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be
And
a
we will
good time.
absolutely keep you posted when the next one is because I actually even think that we have it scheduled, but I don't have that in front of me. So I'm not going to lie.
I think we
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I think we do. So
Yeah. I
that's
think we've thought
wonderful.
that
But
far ahead.
and so I'm sure that people know, but do you want to, if because I know there's still some other questions, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, Bobby, to do more in-depth
You
readings?
can get a hold of me at bobbyroundtreebornmedium.ca or on Facebook. Actually, no, don't try to get a hold of me on Facebook. Go to bobbyroundtreebornmedium.ca because there's so many folks and there's so many different places. So just go right there. And if you actually want to see some more of my videos and what I'm talking about in the world, I have a YouTube channel, which you may or may not be on. I actually don't think I have my YouTube people here. I think you have your YouTube people here, but I'm not sure if I have. Raise your hand if you're from my YouTube.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there they
I see
are.
a dang thing. Anyway, and that again is Bobby Roundtree, Born Medium.
Wonderful.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what they said to me. Kiss. Okay.
Perfect.
And you, young lady?
Perfect. Thank you. Well, you can reach us at loveelemental.com. I think we've got website links and we've got, look at the ticker going by. Thank you. That's our boss at work again. Thank you, lovely boss. And yeah, we do individual readings, we do group readings, we do mentorship. And so always excited and eager to meet new people if they have questions or they're wanting to, move forward in their life and change how they're doing business. We're happy to work with those people as
Or
well.
enhance.
So what a wonderful pleasure it's been. I'm so excited to do this with you, and I'm looking forward to our QUIP, the future of QUIP.
I'm such an acronym whore that I made QUIP the acronym, and that's what I call it. And I just looked at work with us. Woo!
Work with us. I love it. Oh, wow. All right. Well, thank you,
everyone.
everybody. Blessings. Thank you, Bobby. And we'll see you next month.
Okay.
Okay.